get up, I'm warm.
Our names are Mike and Heather. We're traveling the US in our van Appa on a mission to visit all 50 states. Subscribe and join us as we try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to Michigan, our 49th state on our 50-state journey. We are so close to being done and we're so excited to be here.
We've spent the last week in Hawaii exploring the island of Oahu, where we were having a ton of fun in the sun. We've traded that in and we are now back in warm clothes because it is winter time here in the northern part of the United States.
So while we had a blast in Hawaii doing all the warm weather activities like surfing, hiking, just honestly enjoying the beach, we're now going to experience more of the wintertime activities.
So we are spending the next couple days in the town of Charlevoix, which is right on Lake Michigan. We've come over to Mount McSauba, where there's a candlelit hike up to a gorgeous lookout point. It's about a mile long, but as the sun goes down, you get beautiful scenery through the woods, and we are so excited to go on it.
Before we go outside, we definitely need to bundle up out there.
You're here for the hike?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Okay, well, welcome.
We are all geared up and on the candlelit trail. It's already really pretty. There's some snow falling. We're walking right up to the beach area over Lake Michigan, so I'm really excited for the views. We started at the base of a really cool sledding hill, and this is all volunteer done, so they have some hot chocolate and a fire at the end, but we are excited to be on here and hiking in Michigan.
We're hiking this. We just have plain boots on and Mike has his hiking shoes, but there's people snowshoeing. We see lots of people out with sleds, tearing it up on that sledding hill. There's even a place where you can ski for $14. Like, that's unheard of in our area. They're not the biggest hills, but it looks like a lot of fun. And the snow is the really nice powdery white snow. As we were leaving our place in Buffalo, New York, it was a huge ice storm, so
Like freezing rain.
yeah, like the grass was literally frozen with ice, and we had icicles off of Appa as we were brushing it off. So this nice, white, pretty powdery snow is very much welcomed.
We're hiking up to the beach and we have this gorgeous view of Lake Michigan in front of us. You can see the water, and right at the edge of the horizon is this beautiful orange and the clouds kind of hanging down. So the sun is a couple minutes away from setting. You're actually walking by snow-covered sand dunes as we're coming up to the beach just in front of us.
Wow, it's beautiful. Michigan is known for its beautiful beaches during the summertime, but I would argue that this is just as beautiful, if not more beautiful. Wanna know what this is?
What?
The Taylor Swift song.
Oh, snow on the beach?
Yeah, snow on the that song. Taylor Swift was right. It is beautiful.
So we are down at the beach, and this is the not quite frozen Lake Michigan. So this is one of the 5 Great Lakes. We've actually been to this one, but on the shores in Wisconsin, and we weren't able to come to Michigan then, but I kind of think it worked out because this is such a cool activity, and to be able to be out here in winter when it's a little bit harder to find good stuff to do van lifing is really cool.
You can see the sand underneath the snow if you scuff it away. Crazy concept.
Yeah, that's really weird. Right now we're walking along the beach, and eventually it'll take us back up towards the trail that we initially walked down on. Even though it's cold, we're having a lot of fun being out here walking by the lake.
I was made for you. You were made for me. Nobody.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you come up to the top of the sand dunes and you can see the lighted pathway that you walk all the way back up and into the woods. I'm not sure if it's always this snowy, but this event runs through winter all the way to the end of February, which is when we're here. We're actually the last Friday that they're doing this, but it is a beautiful winter wonderland out here. The snowstorm, that big winter storm that came through this area, dropped about 8 inches of snow, which is what we're walking through now, and it has just made this such an awesome experience. We're continuing to make our way through the wooded area, which is a totally kind of different vibe from what we were getting on the beach, and it's just so magical feeling walking through with the snow. So as much as we sort of dread the snow at times in Western New York, I am really excited that it came down here before we got here, so we didn't have to drive through it. We can just enjoy the beautiful atmosphere that it creates here on the trail. It's been nicely sort of manicured so that you can have a nice path to walk on and The trees are just cool. It feels like you're in a different world. It's like Narnia out here with the lit lampposts and the pretty snow.
The best part of this free hike, might I add, is that there's hot chocolate and a little bonfire at the end. So, perfect way to warm up. Although I am kind of breaking a sweat because there's slight inclines here. And walking in the snow is kind of like walking in the sand where you have to work a little harder. So, even though this is just a 1 mile little hike, that's more like a walk, it's still pretty legit. That's where we're going.
Yes, to hot chocolate and a fire to warm our hands.
And toes.
Yeah. So we are back in Appa with our hot chocolates in hand as we attempt to warm up. When we were looking for cool winter activities to do as we were preparing to come visit our 49th state, this location came up as a cool weekend winter getaway. So we're excited to see what we can find in town tomorrow as we find a camping spot for tonight.
Yeah, tonight is not going to be anything glamorous. Although there's a lot of cute hotels and bed and breakfasts in the area, we're gonna sleep in an old Kmart parking lot because on iOverlander, which is where we find our free camping spots, that was one that popped up right in this little town here, so it's gonna be mighty convenient for what we're getting up to tomorrow.
So we will be leaving this Mount McSauba area and heading down into the town of Charlevoix to find where we're gonna stay for tonight.
Not only are there hiking paths lit up, their main streets are, I guess, too.
And we're in February, so we're well past Christmas, but I really like the aesthetic and it's so pretty with the snowfall that we've had recently here.
I think this is the lot. Online on iOverlander, it was a lot of summer reviews saying that there's a lot of other RVs and even people towing boats here. But it looks like we might be the only one besides this box truck.
Rental truck that they do here.
Change of plans. I don't know if this is a new business or not. So
It looks to be like
Yeah.
all new neons and stuff above the buildings.
Because on iOverlander, this was described as like an empty lot, and we don't want to be disrespectful and necessarily park in this business's parking lot if you're not allowed to anymore. But I went and checked iOverlander, and there is a Walmart and a casino about a half hour away, or 25 minutes away. So I think we're gonna head that direction because either one of those are a good option. So plan B.
Yeah.
/C.
And this isn't something that is completely out of the ordinary. It's not something that happens every night, but every so often we'll find a spot on iOverlander that someone will have posted and we don't know if we really feel comfortable staying in that spot or maybe it's a little bit outdated, which is one of the reasons we try and get there at least a little bit earlier in the evening when possible.
Take the next left, then turn left.
So definitely some RV parking on this side. We're gonna go double check and make sure we're able to park in here without any issues.
Hi, we saw online that we were able to stay here overnight if you're in like a camper van or RV, and I just wanted to double check that that was okay.
I don't actually know. I can go ask security real quick.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she said it was fine.
Oh,
Okay,
awesome.
cool.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
so we'll
it.
just head to the RV lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are now on plan C. So plan B was to go to Walmart because bathrooms. But when we got to the parking lot, we saw the dreaded no overnight parking sign. So the casino, which had a lot of great reviews, was literally 3 minutes away, and that's where we found ourselves. We have found a spot in the RV parking right next to a giant RV and another camper van. We have put up our reflectix and put in the bed extension just so we have a little bit more space on the bench, and it'll make it easier to go into bed mode when we're finally ready for that. But first, we're gonna cook ourselves something to eat and possibly put on a heat source. So because it was going to be so cold, we brought along a Mr. Buddy heater. We haven't used this at all in the van quite yet, but we figured because the temperatures were gonna drop so low that we might bring it just in case.
Generally, we're warm enough overnight with our super heavy duty sleeping bag as well as the heating blanket. The combination of those are nice, but if we're just in the van kind of how we are now for maybe a couple hours before we go to sleep, it does get cold and we try not to run the van to use the heat that way because at a certain point idling just isn't good for the vehicle and it becomes unsafe for us to just sit in here. So we have decided to try bringing the Mr. Buddy heater, which is something we had purchased in case we're in conditions like this. And in looking it up, we've found that there are some ways to use it safely in the van. So what we're gonna do is try using this tonight. We're gonna make sure that we have the max air fan opened up so we get good ventilation, as well as cracking the back doors.
We're also going to be cooking during that time and we don't want to let all the cold air in.
Yeah.
So we figured it's the perfect opportunity to have the heater going as we have a lot of ventilation.
Yeah, so this is probably gonna be about the coldest we've been in the van. The low tonight is supposed to be around 14, and this is a night that we're kind of gonna be in the van for at least a few hours before we call it a day. So we're gonna test this out, see how it goes. I'm excited to try and be a little bit warmer than we are right now.
Yeah, because
It's not bad.
We turned off the car, so like the heat's still trapped in here, but when we open up all the doors and let in the really cold outside, it's gonna get bad.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna leave the heater on overnight, but just as we're kind of hanging out and cooking dinner, so that way we don't freeze to death with the door open.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit skeptical of opening windows to like heat the space.
I don't think it needs to be open all the way. It just
But
needs to
just
be, like,
ventilation.
cracked. Yeah.
Or out.
We got the door cracked a little bit. We got the fan on, and Mike's got the heater.
Okay. So it actually has directions over on the side. So push to ignite pilot, and then after lit, hold for 30 seconds. So you get the pilot flame going, and then you just hold the start button, and then you release it once it's set. We've got this nice area for it to kind of sit in, and it should provide heat for the van. So this is something that you can use in vans, in tents, as long as you have proper ventilation, which we've got going for us now. So this should be good, but can already feel some warmth coming off of it, which is nice.
Now food.
Yes, food for sure.
On the menu tonight is 3 cheese mac and cheese from Backpacker's Pantry. We got it from Walmart. Basically, we just need to boil water and dump it in here.
Yes.
So another open flame in our van. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, they almost never have ones that are vegetarian options. So when we saw this, we were kind of like, let's try it tonight. It looks like it could be good. So we'll let you know.
We also have backup oatmeal and other food.
Yes, we
Just
do
in
have
case.
air fryer options. Don't worry.
So I have our boiling water, a towel for when we inevitably spill everywhere, and the mac and cheese.
Oh, those are like pretty tough actually.
Did you read the directions?
No! I got cheese dust everywhere.
Is it really? We sleep there.
Oh, it's fine. It's mostly on my leggings. We'll be opening the rest up here. A little spilt cheese never hurt anyone.
What's the inside look like?
Like a crushed macaroni and cheese box.
Okay. What is
Let
it?
me read the directions. Stir well, seal pouch, wait 8 minutes. Stir again, reseal, wait 7 more minutes.
So you have 15 minutes to wait for this mac and cheese
I'm so
after
hungry.
boiling the water? Oh my
This
god.
is why the air fryer is superior. Stir well. Yeah. It looks so good.
Does it actually?
Just needs a little bit more stirring and sitting for 15 minutes. There goes nothing.
You want to set a timer for 8 minutes before we get to restir it and then wait?
Well, you have to rehydrate it. So if you were like backpacking and like this was your option for like a warm meal after hiking for several hours, this would be a pretty good meal. But when you're van lifing and you have access to a jackery and an air fryer, mozzarella sticks are also a pretty good meal and take half the time. Per Mike's request, we have Lucky Charms hot chocolate, so. Okay. Good?
Mm-hmm. Not super hot water though. So our mac and cheese might be cold.
We might be turning to the air fryer. Better than I was expecting it to be, honestly. I like mac and cheese more than you do, though.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just like...
It's definitely lukewarm at this point. But the flavor's all there. It's got some cheddar cheese and I think Parmesan. But it tastes like there's a little bit of pepper in here, too. It's good, though.
We had a good dinner and it's been really nice just being able to be in the van. We've really enjoyed having the heater on because we feel comfortable in here even though it's maybe 20 degrees outside. So this has been much nicer than some of the other evenings we've spent in the van when it's cold. So this is definitely something I think we'll utilize in the next couple of days while we're here in the northern part of the country. But for now, we're gonna put this away and start getting ourselves ready for bed. So we'll tuck this away, get the bed out, get into sleep clothes, and get the giant sleeping bag out because it's gonna be a cold one tonight.
So the last thing we have to do is just get our pillows popped out for bed. But this is where we're gonna leave you for tonight as we brave the cold. Honestly, it's actually really nice and warm in here right now, and we got our heated blanket and our sleeping bag, so we'll be totally fine. We have an early morning tomorrow, so we're gonna get to bed now so that way we can get up bright and early and explore more of the area.
It's ice. It's the next morning and we survived the night. It was very cold, but we had the heating blanket set underneath us on a low setting, and with the really warm sleeping bag over us, we were able to keep that heat in, and we're actually pretty comfortable through the night. But now we're gonna get ready and head back into Charlevoix.
I don't want to get up, I'm warm, and the air is cold.
Good morning, sun's rising. Don't let the light in. I breathe in this feeling. Don't need to fight it. Down on my street, follow my feet. Feel the sun on my skin. Bells ringing, birds singing. Hello, good morning.
We've come back into the town of Charlevoix on this cold and snowy morning, but we made it to the lighthouse, which is really pretty amazing. We're right on Lake Michigan, and there's this striking small lighthouse just out onto the water a little bit. We're gonna try and walk a little bit closer, but if we can't because of how much snow there is, it's still a pretty good view.
The lighthouse is in a little park area as well, so this would be really pretty during the summer, but the benches are a little bit covered in snow at the moment, and so are the swings and slide. Although that could be equally as fun if you had the right gear on, like snow pants.
So you are actually able to walk out to the lighthouse. They have a walkway that is set with railings on either side. And I guess rough weather, the waves will crash up onto the walkway here, coat the railings, and make a really cool effect. But the water looks really clear from this platform area, and I think we're gonna be able to get right up to the lighthouse.
As we're getting closer, you can definitely see more of the frozen waterfall effect here with the waves crashing and then freezing. All of this is covered in ice, and so is all of that.
And look at the chain. The icicles are pushed away because of the wind on it, and it's frozen in place.
As you almost wiped out.
I told you it's covered in ice under all this snow.
We made it back to the warm van, and at the top of the hill that you come down to see the lighthouse, there is what's called a mushroom house hill loop. I guess they're famous houses in this area due to the architectural style. So I think we're gonna go do the loop, check them out before we head into town, grab a bite to eat, and then go winter rafting. To the mushroom houses.
The snow-covered hill.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I think we're stumbling upon our first mushroom house.
Oh, and look at the little one.
Oh yeah. They
That
kind of
one-
look like little hobbit homes.
Kinda, but way bigger. That's really nice though, too. The thatch house. Oh, they have signs and stuff in front of them.
The mushroom homes are whimsical artisan homes featuring wavy roof lines and stonework that are designed by architect Earl Young between 1919 and the 1970s. It says that Young built 26 houses and several commercial properties in this area.
This would probably be really nice to walk in the summertime and just casual stroll. You've got the lake off to your right, the pretty houses on the left side. Oh, look at the little one. Burning sponge.
We have made it to the downtown area and parked in free parking, which is nice. It's right by a free sledding hill as well, and they have free sleds that you can take and go down the hill and then we put back, which I think is just really charming.
Yes, so far we've really enjoyed everything we've seen here in the town of Charlevoix, but we are getting hungry, so we're walking over to the French place.
It's that French place
for some crepes. So we're gonna head over there, which is just a couple steps from the parking area we found, which is really convenient.
I'm guessing that's a hot chocolate.
Yes, thank you.
Soy latte.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
They had limited seating in there, but we got crepes and a soy latte and hot chocolate. So we're gonna take these back to the van and enjoy them. We're back in Appa and we've got our food.
We went with one sweet crepe and one savory crepe. So we have one that's a cheese crepe with buckwheat flour, and then a sweet crepe, which is just butter and sugar. And when we were walking out, Mike's like, oh, do we need forks? I was like, no, I think you just eat it with your hands, because I saw her packaging it in these cute little hand holders for the crepes, so it's so perfect.
That's pretty cool.
All right, you wanna try the sweet one first?
Sure, it's really good. Really light, tasty, cooked really well, so it's not charred or anything like that. You could see them making it, and it was a cool experience. And my favorite part was when they took the slab of butter and spread it across, but you can really get all of the flavors in there, and it's definitely delicious.
They had lots of flavors as well, so they had like Nutella, brown sugar. We just went with the simple butter and sugar one, but they had a lot of really fun flavors.
And you can fold this back too to open up a bit more.
It's flaky, tastes like the perfect thin pancake that you ever will have. And the butter is just melting and it's really warm, which is perfect for this cold morning. This one feels a lot more substantial. Like this one will fill you up. That's like more of a treat. The cheese is really nice in there. There's not a lot of cheese, it's just the perfect amount. And the nice buttery crepe really ties it all well together, and it's the perfect snack. In addition to the crepes, we also got 2 drinks, which I think have probably cooled off enough to drink now. I just went with the basic hot chocolate. I feel like that's a reoccurring theme for this Michigan vlog. My third one, I just took my first sip, and this is definitely made with real chocolate. You can taste the quality is way better than the Nesquik little packets that we had yesterday. This is good.
Where we're parked, we have a view right out the front window of all of the people going up and down the sled hills.
As we finish up our warm beverages, we're gonna start heading towards the winter rafting company that we're going with. So there is a Jordan River Valley's rafting company here in Charlevoix that you can go water rafting on, but they require 48 hours notice before you book with them. Because they require 48-hour notice and we're last minute people, unfortunately we were unable to book with them. But there was another company that got equally good reviews about 45 minutes away from here. So we're gonna head that way.
And this isn't whitewater rafting or anything like you may be thinking with that. This is a nice, sort of serene, easy paddle boat tour down a beautiful river. And I'm really excited that we're getting this kind of snowy atmosphere, because I think it's just gonna be absolutely beautiful. So it's about 2 hours on the water. We're gonna make sure we're bundled up, but that's gonna be a ton of fun.
45 minutes later, we have made it to Wolverine, Michigan, where the Sturgeon River Paddlesports company is located. So we're in their parking lot getting all geared up. I have 3 layers on top, 3 layers on bottom. I'm gonna put my Melanzana on, my sweatshirt, hat, gloves. We have hand warmers. I think we're ready to go. Well, I'm ready to go. Mike's still trying to find his thermos, but we're almost ready.
Put your hand in my hand, darling, say go. Keep your eyes on the horizon, stay gold. All I need are your eyes, you're my arrow. Now we're running into the wild. I see the light.
Like race paddle if you want to. And if you want to keep floating, the
Thank you. That was awesome.
We just wrapped up our paddle boat tour. They dragged our boats back to the van that they're warming up for us, which is actually super nice.
That was really, really amazing. It was absolutely beautiful out there on the water. Our guide Dakota was absolutely great. It was a fun time on the boat with the rest of the people taking the tour. And yeah, I definitely recommend doing this in the winter. And if you can catch on a day when there's snow on the ground, it makes it even better.
How'd everybody do? All right?
Good, thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. I had such a good time doing that. It was a really mellow float trip. So if you've been before, you'll know kind of how it goes and you paddle and do that kind of thing. But this was just a really nice river that you were on. So you got to look around and really engage with the environment.
The scenery was really nice. The company was even better. We had a boat full of great people who were all sharing different travel stories, which is always fun. And I think it was just a really great way to end our time here in Michigan.
We weren't the most excited to be leaving 75, 80 degree temperatures in Hawaii to come back to below freezing here in the northern part of the United States, but this has been definitely a trip that has exceeded our expectations here in Michigan. So state number 49 was absolutely a success, but this is not the end of this little outing. We are actually going to the finish line. We are leaving Michigan and heading to North Dakota.
It just feels so surreal to even say that the next video, tomorrow, we are going to be in state 50.
Yes, and we will have done it. So we've got a drive through Michigan's Upper Peninsula to get out of this state, and then we've got a couple of states that we've already been through to cross before we get into that new number 50. So we are going to leave you here and get started on driving, and we will see you in North Dakota.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. We'll see you there.
So come and get it like